Hey fellow skeptics, Lester the Skeptic Tank here. I know it's been a little bit of time. I don't think too much time, although you're free to be of a different opinion, and if so, feel free to leave a comment. I'm just going to highlight what my next venture is going to be. I've used this on and off, LibreOffice. The main bugaboo I've had about it is there was a lack of historical smoothness when I started typing in characters, particularly in the word processing and then the spreadsheet. And just trying to give it another shake. It's been some time already. What I tend to use, because my needs are what they are, it's not terrible. I've been using this software, only desktop. And compared to LibreOffice, I will have to be honest and say, just on this alone, it kind of pales. But I'm going to open a new document, or at least start creating one, and I'm going to just I remember using the predecessor to LibreOffice, OpenOffice, and I would use it, and over time it would get a little sluggish. This doesn't seem too bad, but I just remember back then with Libre or OpenOffice, it didn't seem to have that smoothness. I'm going to create a spreadsheet. This one, I think, in terms of look and feel, it does attempt to make it very close to Microsoft Office Suite. I do have an array of other software. This comes bundled with Slackware, and I believe it's part of the K desktop or KDE environments. So I'm gonna try that. Not exactly my favorite, just because of the way it works and the way you navigate. So I'm gonna try that. You could tell it's a different interface, and you would likely have to explore. So that whole thing about option power, and yes, there are alternative programs like LibreOffice, OnlyOffice, GIMP or GIMP, which is the GNU Image Manipulation project. It's what you might term the alternative to Photoshop if you want nothing to do with Adobe, and especially since they've moved on to a subscription model. I did try to get away with using I think it was CS6, I believe, as the last version that was set up for perpetual license. Yeah, the upfront cost was what it was, but you didn't tie yourself to an annual subscription or monthly subscription like I have. I'm just about ready when it's time. I'm about ready to just end it, because I don't know if it's going to be worth paying into something that I'm not really using. Even though, yes, I do have a Mac and I can install it there. I do have my Windows partition, and yes, I can work with it there. But I want to be able to be clear that I mainly want my Windows environment and partition to be strictly for games. If there's any application need, it'll likely be for my QuickBooks, if I decide to keep using that, like I've mentioned a few times already. Or if I can find an alternative to that, that'd be better. Or in the case of Peacock, I don't want to have to run into a dual boot. And when I'm done with Peacock, I gotta go back into my Linux. just because I prefer being there. And yes, with a lot of stuff available now via the use of a web browser, it's mitigate the need to rely on Windows a lot. Whereas, like I said, I want to keep my Windows strictly to the gaming that I just can't get done here in Linux, despite every possible workaround that I personally try. And the reason why I qualify that is I'm sure there are other tricks that one could pull that I may or may not have the time to investigate for fully. So without further ado, I'm just going to go back to LibreOffice. And this one, I definitely want to start with trying to install from source. There is another version of this available where it takes a pre-built package and converts it for something Slackware can use. So just to keep a track of my dependencies. So I've already looked into this because I'm already looking at the alternative to QuickBooks. It's called Biz by Apache. So this one doesn't look to have anything I need to chase. I just need to download and just run with it. This one, the Pro-based stuff, okay, that's not too bad. That's good. Before, it used to be pretty hefty if I wanted to build it from source. Okay, this isn't too bad, so it shouldn't take me long. I'll likely get back and see what the performance is like, as long as the build doesn't take too long and I don't run into any quirks. So we'll see. I do have alternatives. I believe Alien Bob has some Slack builds in his repository. So the way you navigate his page is especially if you're going to go down to what you want to get. So I'm going to check if he has anything for LibreOffice. There it is. And you can either do the build or you could do the package. So if I have to, I can install the package. But I like to see what I can get away with in terms of building from source. So I'm going to start with the Slack builds from slackbuilds.org, and then I'll go from there. Alright, wish me luck, guys. Hey guys, this is Lester the Skeptic once again. I have completed the installation of LibreOffice. So I'm going to see what I've got here. So you see here the different applications. So I'm going to start with the word processor. It's been a while. Hit OK. See what fonts I have. Applications. See if I can move this around. Yes, it has that, so if I do that, this is going to be the interesting. I'm going to see which one this is. This might be the Excel equivalent. This is the PowerPoint equivalent, if I'm not mistaken, so let's go to math. Nope. Incorrect. Don't save. Oh, calc. Interesting. But it makes sense. Calc isn't loading. Let's see why. It says it's open. Where would it be? Oh. Where could it be? I'll close this down. But where would it be? I'm going to minimize my other windows. I'll close. I'm going to try to I'm going to save my recording real quick. Alright, I did get a glimpse of what the window started as. It was very small and it was like at the corner of the screen. But you're seeing now now, from my immediate vantage point, feels a little sluggish. Maybe I'm seeing things. So that's cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to close down this window. Not save, and I will try the other one. And as I was saying, base is the database program. Next, now this reminds me, ooh, that wasn't pleasant, but at least I have this. And I might have to go back to something here with my previous exposure to database creation and management back in middle school days. Mainly because that's what products like QuickBooks is, but you know, it's a database. So we'll see if I can cook up something. It may be more convoluted. Maybe I will give UfBiz a shot and then go from there. Close that. that was a lot more painless than I anticipated. I remember in the earlier days trying to build this from source, and it had pretty certain specific requirements like space, and there were some build errors, but this one built without a hitch. And you can tell that things are loading pretty well, pretty quick. I'm going to try the draw program. Very cool. So this would be a nice alternative to OnlyOffice, Calligra, and again, just the history of the Libre. It was a fork of what is known as OpenOffice, which is, I think it's a Sun or an Oracle now. They're the ones who took on OpenOffice, and inevitably it's led to LibreOffice, which I would imagine, and people like low-spec Linux laptop would attest to LibreOffice's popularity. I don't know about standardization, but that's how I'm seeing it right now. OnlyOffice was nice. It was a nice alternative until I got into a situation where, that's not too bad. So, thank you for your patience, guys. Glad to know that was a very painless build. And until the next time, take it easy, fellow skeptics. Skeptic Tank signing out. Catch you all later.